get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael. We made this video because you're the most ambitious person in your circle. You know you are capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband, Evan Carmichael. Everything that you want out of your life is on the other side of fear. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, conquer fear.
Everything that you want out of life is on the other side of your biggest fears. You want something more. You know you're capable of something more. You'll come up with a great reason why you can't do that something more, but really, you're just afraid. If you want a breakthrough, if you want that dream life, you need to change the way you think about fear, or it will handicap you for the rest of your life. So my biggest fear is disappointing people. I'm afraid that whatever I'm gonna do, I might disappoint somebody, and that keeps me playing small. And so whenever I can recognize it, then I have to go all in and do it just to show myself, because it allows you to play on a bigger stage every time. And that big fear you have is still there. It doesn't go away. You're just capable of slaying a bigger dragon each time. So what used to count as disappointing people, or my fear of disappointing people, might have been going to a coffee meeting and helping an entrepreneur. I remember one time super clearly that I was booking a meeting with an entrepreneur, and I was so worried that I was going to disappoint her that I was hoping that she would cancel. And the story I told myself was, I'm too busy, I got all this stuff to do. You know, the realistic reasons that you can convince yourself, right? They weren't stupid reasons, they were realistic. But deep down was, I'm just afraid. I'm afraid that she's going to show up and I'm not going to give her value. It's a deep fear. And then once I went to go meet her, it was amazing. I remember sitting in my car and saying, wow, like an hour and a half ago, I was hoping that she was going to cancel on me, and this is the greatest thing of all time, right? Your biggest fears prevent you from living the life that you want. And so I'm afraid of disappointing people. Most of the time you can't catch it. I think we play small by default. I think your greatest fear owns you and is giving you tons of logical reasons why you can't do that thing. But whenever you catch it, whenever you do actually catch and say, I think this is just my fear talking, that means it's go time. That means you have to do it just to teach yourself that you're able to conquer it and move to a greater level of success. So how do you actually change your relationship with fear? I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is understand that self-confidence comes from doing scary things. Self-confidence, self-love, self-respect comes from doing scary, difficult things. If you're scared of something, right? Your heart's going boom, boom, boom. You're scared of it. You're worried it's not gonna work out. And you catch it. This is the thing. Again, 95% of the time, you'll never catch it. You'll just subconsciously play small. But in the 5% of the time that you actually catch it, if you go off and do it, even if you don't get a result, just trying, just by doing it, you teach yourself that you're awesome. You teach yourself that you don't play small. It's better not to catch it than to catch it and not do it. If you don't catch it, you just keep living life, right? Ignorance is bliss. But when you catch it, say, I think I'm just actually afraid of this thing. That's why I'm not following through. And then you don't do it, you're telling yourself you suck. You're telling yourself you're afraid, and when you're afraid, you don't do it. I want to flip the script. As soon as you catch it, in the 5% of the cases, right? You catch it, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to just go off and do it, because that way you're telling yourself, I'm amazing. I rock. It may not work out, but I'm crushing this fear. Let's go, right? It's a self-signal for self-respect, self-confidence, self-love, all of it comes from doing scary things. You love scary things. You eat scary things for breakfast, because the opposite of doing scary things is doing things that you know how to do, which means you're bored, you're photocopying your life every day, and that's not the life that you want to live. Step number 2 is trust your bold ideas. When you get an idea, trust that it is the right thing for you. When you're feeling bold, and this doesn't happen every day. We don't wake up and say, oh, I'm amazing, happy Thursday, right? It's not how most people wake up. We're tired, we don't have a lot of energy, we're not feeling bold. But you have moments. You have moments in your life where you feel bold, confident, unstoppable. Maybe it was after a meeting, maybe it was after a video, maybe you got inspired, maybe you're on a walk, a meditation. It doesn't matter. You have moments in your life, you know what I'm talking about. You've had moments in your life where you felt inspired, bold. An idea comes to you, say, man, if I could do that, it'd be amazing, right? You know what I'm talking about. And then the next day you wake up, say, I can't do that crazy thing. Who am I? I can't do that. I don't have the XYZ, right? The money, connections, time, resources, blah, 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 blah. I can't do that, right? Trust your bold ideas. I believe that the ideas that come to me, that come to you when you're feeling bold, are actually the right ones for you. And then your brain, which is designed to keep you safe and only understands the world that currently exists, your brain starts talking you down from it. And if you wait till the next day, it's over. Then your brain has already taken charge. It's in control again. You're back to being safe, boring, photocopy your life over and over and over again. So trust your bold ideas. When you're feeling bold, an idea comes to you, say, this is right for me. And then take some immediate action towards it. It'll make a huge difference. And then step number 3 is your bucket list is your excuse list. This might be a little more controversial, but I think when people add something to their bucket list, I think it's an excuse list. I think most people die with a bucket list full of ideas. Just because you call it a bucket list doesn't mean it's going to get done. This is the way you want to train yourself. As soon as you put something on your bucket list, go do it. Find the smallest possible way and start building it, right? That experience that you want, you could go off and do it and teach yourself that you're the kind of person who comes up with bold ideas and starts immediately taking action. Not in 5 years when I'm XYZ, then I'm going to do it. That's garbage. That's loser thinking. You might think you're crushing it by having this bucket list of dreams and goals. You're not. You're teaching yourself that you suck. At least I think that. Because you're teaching yourself, you make a list of ideas and then you don't follow through. The best thing, there's a guy who came to my event in Phoenix. He said, well, my goal on my bucket list is I want to climb Mount Everest. Okay, great. Go do it. Even just believing that that's possible in the next year instead of waiting 20 years for that thing to happen, right? Already changes your mindset. You could do it. What do you need? You need money, you need training, you need resources. What? Figure it out. You could figure it out. If that really was so important to you, you could do it in the next year. You could. And if it's not that important to you, why is it on your bucket list in the first place? People die with their bucket list full. Your bucket list is your excuse list. Instead, start making an action list and get to work.
If you are more confident and motivation, please check out our 254 series. The link is in the description below.
And you have an overview of what your book is all about, and you write into them. There's usually a general email address so you can connect with them.
You can use rejection as fuel to help you go off and do something bigger and motivation to, I'm going to prove them wrong.
Surround yourself with greatness. If you want to be more confident, you need to surround yourself with things that make you feel confident.
Rule number 2, do scary things.
The famous quote of feel the fear and do it anyway, I would change to feel the fear and do it because of. Because if you want to do great things, you have to teach yourself that you do scary things, that you step out of your comfort zone, that you embrace difficult challenges, that you do scary things. Feel the fear and do it because of. Make that your mantra and your entire life will change. So recently, my friend Mark Drager, friend of the channel, longtime friend of the channel, he helped actually film my very first video on Walt Disney. That was him behind the camera. He had an idea that he wanted to shave his head, but he was anxious. He was worried. He was fearful of how it might look, of how people might judge him, of you can't go back from it. You know, once you shave it, it's going to take a while to grow back. And so he decided that he would just do it.
Why are you videotaping that?
What is he doing?
Isn't that crazy?
It looks pretty crazy right now. I hope it looks better when it's done.
Maybe not. We'll see.
And what I love about this is that he decided to do the scary thing. That whether he sticks with having his head shaved or not, doesn't matter. It's teaching yourself that you do scary things. That when an idea comes into your head and the instant voice that comes back is, well, that's scary. I don't know if I can do that. Every second that you spend thinking about that, and second, minutes, weeks, months, years, decades for some people of just sitting on the idea and telling yourself that it's too scary and you can't do it, you're teaching yourself that you suck. That's what I believe. I really believe that if you want to do something, you've got an idea in your head Maybe it's shaving your head. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's asking somebody out. Maybe it's starting that business. Maybe it's making that phone call. Maybe it's writing that book or making that video or starting your Instagram account. Whatever it is, we all have these things that we fear. Deciding that you're going to do it and that it's not because you're fearless, because you are afraid. Fear is a great thing. If you're fearless, then you're just inside your comfort zone all the time. Think about it. If you had no fears, it means you're just sitting inside your comfort zone and you're not doing anything that is remotely scary. It's feeling the fear and saying, I do scary things. I'm the kind of person. Teaching yourself that you're the kind of person who follows through on difficult things, on scary things. That's how you build your self-confidence. That's how you build your self-love. Mark shaving his head, you might think, well, what does that have to do with his business goals and progress as an entrepreneur? Everything. Is he going to land more deals now that he has a shaved head? Probably not. But the self-love, the self-motivation, the self-confidence that comes from teaching yourself. If he had that idea in his head for weeks or months and saying, I should do this, and then he's not doing it, he doesn't follow through, the record in his head is I suck. Do you think he's going to be bold in business? Do you think when he comes up with a new idea for what he should be doing on his campaign, on his hiring, on his next step, that he's going to take action? Heck no! Because that loop is in his head saying you suck. You come up with ideas and then find ways why you can't do it. You come up with bold initiatives and then don't do them and play small and they just stay as an idea. You need to flip it. You flip it. In every circumstance, as long as it's not against your ethics or is just plain stupid, right? Like, don't just jump into a lion's cage because you're scared to do it, right? Most of the things that you're afraid to do are not actually against your ethics and are not actually going to cause physical harm to you or somebody else, right? Most of the things that you're afraid to do are revolving other people's opinions, other people's judgments, failing in front of somebody else, and that now is no longer good enough reason. You have to shift the mindset that when something comes that's difficult, that's scary, that's hard, that you do it. You're the kind of person who comes up with genius, amazing ideas, and they have to be birthed into the world. You do scary things just because.
Now I've got a very special bonus clip on hold yourself accountable that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. What's the fear that you need to conquer today? And if you made it this far in the video and you promise to take action after watching, I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe in the comment below.
You need people in your life to hold you accountable because you will never push yourself as hard as you can go. You get a personal trainer not because of what exercises you should do. You can look that up online. The real value of a trainer is to have somebody right there in front of you, in your face, telling you to do 3 more reps of that exercise when you want to quit. When you're going to tap out, and if you were by yourself, you'd say, I'm done, and they say, give me 3 more. Because all of the growth happens in that last set. If there's nobody around you to hold you to a higher standard, you'll always know that there's another level, but you'll be too afraid to reach for it yourself. So let's use me as an example. I want to solve the world's biggest problem. I don't think people believe in themselves enough. It's why I created this channel and all the other ones I have, and the books and the speaking and everything I do. I want to go out and do this impossible thing that's never going to happen. I'm never going to solve the world's biggest problem, and yet I wake up every day and I try to do it. And I use a combination of what I call aspirational mentors, which are people like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and the people that I profile on this channel. And then I also do it from people who challenge me one-on-one. If you watch my Entrepreneur Advice channel, I get pushed every week by my agent Steve, by psychologists in Australia, by people who are coaching me on how to get better. And they push me and they tell me I need to do more, and they tell me I'm being an idiot in these areas. And like, go, this is the homework. And the more uncomfortable I feel during that process, usually the better the advice is. If I think about the tour that I launched last year and now the tour that I'm doing this year, it started as a free tour and became a paid tour when my agent Steve pushed me to do it. Like, you need to charge for this. And immediately my heart's boom, 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 boom. I'm scared. It means I have to do it. Having people around you who can push you to do the things that you need to do, who make you nervous, who make you scared, who see your blind spots, who cut through your BS, who tell you that's just fear talking, because we'll come up with really logical reasons why we can't do something. Or aspirational mentors who, when you see how they react to things, how they see things, how they understand the world, and then you look at what you're doing, it forces you to be pulled up. It forces you to take the next step up on the staircase. You need to do it because your environment's been perfectly designed to keep you where you are. Your friends, your family, all of it. It's keeping you exactly where you are. And the difference between where you are now and where you want to be and where you can be in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, is going to be the people you have around you and how much they're willing to push you, to believe in you, to tell you what you may not want to hear, but you need to hear to grow, to